The end of the famous Iditarod race was held in downtown Nome. The start of the race was in Anchorage, where her ex-husband still lived, roughly 1,000 miles away. What would Sean think when she told him she was adopting a baby? He'd recently called, wanting her survivalist knowledge for a case. Ivy craved hearing his voice again. But since one of the reasons they'd divorced was his refusal to have children, she also dreaded telling him about Dylan. Her chest tightened like every other time she'd forfeited her dream of raising a family together. The dog looked over her shoulder and waited a beat. Ivy placed a hand on her chest. "You want me to follow?" The husky took a few more steps toward the brush and again turned to wait. "Fine." She walked forward. The dog disappeared into the tall grasses and bushes. "I'm telling you right now, if you stir up a swarm of mosquitoes, I'm leaving." She followed the grass movement until the husky stopped and faced her. On the ground, dark hair spilled out over the matted-down grasses. Ivy rushed forward. She dropped to her knees and reached for the woman's neck to search for her pulse. "Good dog." This had to be the husky's owner. "Ma'am, can you hear me?" Her fingers couldn't find a pulse. No breath. She ripped open the woman's coat to begin compressions. Her gaze caught a dark red circle spread from the center of the woman's chest. Murder. Ivy's own heart pounded harder. This woman had been killed. But when? Her skin chilled. She stood, reaching for her phone. The husky released a short howl. She spun to see why, but lightning struck the base of her skull. Her bones lost all strength. The grass, the house, everything turned white, then fuzzy as she tried to blink through the blinding pain. How'd the dog suddenly get over her head? Something grabbed her ankle and pulled. She struggled to raise her head, but blackness draped over her vision until her mind went silent. Sean West stepped into the Alaska Canine Unit headquarters with Grace, his Japanese Akita Inu partner by his side. His bones felt heavy, having just returned from a recovery operation. They brought peace and closure to a missing man's family, and while he appreciated the purpose of handling a cadaver-seeking dog, success in such a mission brought a deep weariness. Being with the team, even in a boring meeting, would get his head back in the game. Colonel Lorenzo Gallo blocked his entrance to the meeting room. "You're back. I wasn't sure you would be in time. I need a quick word in private." He tried to ignore feeling as if he were being sent to the principal's office. A quick glance over Lorenzo's shoulders confirmed the rest of the team was waiting for the meeting to start. Grace tilted her fluffy fox-like head up at him, as if wondering why they weren't allowed to join the rest of the canines. He shrugged and followed his boss a few steps down the hallway to her office. "This will only take a minute," she said. Sean wasn't sure if she was speaking to Denali, the retired canine husky who sat upright upon their entry, or him. Lorenzo's silver pixie cut and tailored suit complemented the rest of her immaculate office. Nothing out of place. She faced him and sat on the edge of her desk with her arms crossed. "Do you have your go-bag ready?" "Yes." Seemed like an odd question. He'd driven over 200 miles early this morning, after the recovery case. He never knew where in Alaska he'd be assigned, as the elite canine unit supplemented all law enforcement in the state. Sean's bag was always packed, though sometimes his extra uniforms awaited a wash. Like now. "We received a PD request for help. A missing woman, rural area, outside of police jurisdiction." "You suspect a recovery is needed?" The colonel stiffened. "I hope not. I've already assigned Helena and Gabriel to this case. I'll tell them to wait for you at the airstrip. They brought extra supplies for Grace just in case you're running low." Sean tried to connect the dots. Lorenzo wasn't supplying any of the details she usually loved. "I didn't want to brief you over the phone," she said, as if seeing the silent question in his eyes. "And we're out of time. Helena will fill you in on the plane." She hesitated. "Sean, I'm sending you because if it were me..."